Sometimes people get so used to your presence that they don't truly appreciate your real value. They hear you, but they don't listen. They see you, but they pretend not to notice. They think you will always be there, until one day you quietly step away. Without drama, without explanations, you simply choose your own path with a silent decision. And you know what's interesting? Your absence speaks far louder than they ever imagined. That silence awakens a deep regret inside them. They start searching for you. But you have already changed. You have become someone who no longer feels the need to return. If you have ever been someone who was once undervalued, but now grows stronger in silence, this video is for you. In this video, I will show you 5 clear signs that they regret losing you. And we will explain these signs together through the calm and powerful perspective of Stoic philosophy. If you want to see more deep and life-changing videos like this, subscribe to the channel now, like the video, and share it with at least one friend. Because maybe they also need these words, this strength. If you're ready, let's begin. Sign number 1. They start looking for reasons to contact you. Someone who once ignored your presence now accidentally tries to reach out. Messages sent without reason, calls made when there's no real need. These are not just for nostalgia. They are signs that they sense an unforgettable value still exists. Before, you used to write and they didn't reply. You showed interest, but they were indifferent. Now the roles have reversed. They are the ones trying to reach you. How are you? I just remembered something about you. I wanted to ask you something. Behind these questions hides a hidden anxiety. They don't know how to bring you back into their life, so they hide behind simple, meaningless excuses. This is no longer just interest. It's a sign of inner regret, a delayed realization. They have understood that by losing you, they didn't just lose a person, they lost their patience, understanding, quiet support, and stability. At this moment, Stoic philosophy gives you strength. It tells you that you owe no one explanations, replies, or justifications. Your silence can be the heaviest answer for them. Your unanswered messages become a flood of questions inside them. Because you have changed. You are stronger, more aware. You make decisions based on your values, not emotions. You are someone who knows their worth and does not bargain it away for cheap gestures. If they write to you, it is a spark of hope for them. But it is not enough to bring you back, because you no longer belong to the past. You are the calm and strong leader of the present. Remember, Stoics teach us that we cannot control what happens, but we can control our reactions. And these reactions define who we are. Your choosing not to respond is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you now give your energy only to those who deserve it. Not every message or call deserves a reply. Sometimes silence is the highest form of response a person can give. Sign number 2. They try to show off on social media. There was a time when they existed but remained invisible. They were quiet on social networks, sometimes not posting anything for months. Now, however, there is a new update every day, sometimes every hour. A new photo, a new status, supposedly happy moments. At first glance, it might seem simple. But if you look closely, these posts are directed at you. Their goal is to accidentally cross your path. It's as if they are saying, look, I have something new in my life. Look, I'm happy without you now. Look, my life is full. But these look at me posts are scenes built to fill an inner void. Because true peace does not seek display. Real stability shows itself in calmness, not in front of a camera. They now realize by losing you, they didn't just lose a person. They lost the silence that calmed their soul, their patience, understanding, and the energy that explained everything with a single glance. They cannot admit this. Instead, they try to impress you by showing off. Stoic philosophy teaches the exact opposite. Stoics say, a person with inner stability has no need for outward display. The one who lost you cannot tolerate your silence. That's why they turn social media into a stage. Every post is a silent call addressed to you. Look, I'm here. See me. But you have already become different. You don't play this game. You don't watch. You don't react. Maybe you even unfollowed them to avoid seeing their posts. You focus on your own inner calm. This is unbearable for them, because they watch you, but you don't watch them. They post, but you don't respond. Their noise does not touch your silence, and this shakes them inside. In reality, they are not trying to prove anything to you. They are trying to prove something to themselves. They want to convince themselves that I can be happy without you. But the silence behind their posts is a trace of deep regret. Yes, valuable people don't need to create a show. Their presence brings peace. You brought that peace. Now with your absence, they struggle with anxiety. The more you say nothing, the more they will post. The less you step back, the more attention they will seek. But remember, the winner in this struggle is the one who stays calm without making a sound. Your silence is their strongest punishment. Your calmness is their biggest question. Why don't they react to me at all? The answer is simple, because you are already on another level. Sign number 3, they start imitating what you do. Someone who once mocked your choices now follows those same choices. When you talked about books, they used to smile. Now they look for those books. When you cared about sports and a healthy lifestyle, they thought it was pointless. Now they go jogging in the mornings too. When you listened to a certain kind of music and changed, they now post that music in their stories. These changes in themselves are not bad. But the issue is that behind these changes, there is no genuine growth, only the hope of winning you back. They have become like your shadow. They follow your tracks. They try to find the places you've been. They even express their behavior in your terms. But this does not come from within. It's just an attempt to get your attention again by being like you. This is a very clear sign that they have not forgotten you, because people only imitate those they value. But here lies the problem. Imitation does not replace true value. Stoics say, if a change is made just to attract someone's attention, then it is not a change. It is distancing yourself from who you really are. They now copy your results, not your experiences. But you arrived at those results through pain, time, and inner growth. They have not walked that path. They only create an imitation. You changed because you found your own values. They put on a mask to win you back. And you have already learned to recognize masks. Can these attempts soften you? Maybe if you were who you were before, but not now. Because now you value consistent character, not repeated behaviors. You look at intention, not just outcome. You know them. These changes are not deep transformations. They are instinctive actions made because they are still carrying the weight of losing you. Maybe inside they feel guilty toward you. Perhaps that feeling now drives them to try to be like you. But for you, this is already an echo from the past. You have moved, progressed, and nurtured your soul. They are still at the first steps of the ladder. You climbed, and perhaps they don't even realize they are still following you. Keep in mind that a person tends to imitate the one they loved most but can no longer reach. But you have already become a summit they cannot reach. You are ahead of them, not in time but in mindset. Your calmness is a steady response to their panic. Your stability reflects their anxiety like a mirror. And most importantly, imitation is not enough to reach your depth. Sign W4. Such people often dwell on the past. They usually say things like, "Do you remember how much we used to laugh back then? That night we spent together. I will never forget it. There was that moment when the world seemed to stop." These words sound familiar to your ears. They come from the foggy window of the past. And the person looking through that window is not searching for you, but the shadow of those good moments shared with you. This is not just nostalgia. It is the voice of emotions defeated by unchanging reality. Because they cannot reach you in the present, they try to touch you by returning to the past. There in memories you still exist. You still hold their hand. You still laugh together. But these are scenes from a finished chapter, beautiful but left behind. Stoics teach us, the past is a teacher, not a home. Learn from it, but do not live there. But they are stuck inside that home. Every time they talk about the past, They are not convincing you, but themselves. They say, maybe there is still a chance. Maybe you haven't forgotten those memories either. But they forget that you already know the difference between living the past and returning to it. The past's allure creates traps. Memories are like a warm blanket, easy to hide under. But you no longer live only in memories. You have analyzed them, passed through them, found strength. And most importantly, you have not lost yourself there. That person clings to the best moments with you, perhaps testing their last hopes of winning you back, sometimes openly, sometimes indirectly. But in any case, they are searching for the you from the past, while you are no longer that person. Your gaze is directed toward the future. You live in the present and grow for the future. You love yourself now, not just memories. You protect your inner stability today, not the feelings from back then. They are still floating in a sea of nostalgia, and hoping that maybe one day you will return to that sea, but you have no intention of returning to that ship. Because you have already stepped onto solid ground, your feet firmly planted. Remember, sometimes people don't miss their past, but the version of themselves they were back then. They are like that. They aren't searching for you, but for the self who was happy with you. But that path will not bring you back, because you have already chosen your own path. For you, those moments are now a lesson, but they are still stuck in that classroom. The past is beautiful. Remember it with love, but do not go back, because you have become the one shaping the present and future of your life. Your eyes look forward, not backward. Finally, sign number 5. These people become uneasy because of your calmness. Yes, precisely because of your calmness. Because you no longer write, you no longer ask. Your cold but polite silence is the greatest mystery for the other side. This calmness is the strongest expression of your inner strength, self-respect, and emotional stability. They expected you to weaken for a moment, to say their name, to speak a word for them, maybe even to beg. But you did not act the way they expected. On the contrary, you showed your worth. You stood stronger, more independent, and firmer than ever before. This silence stirs a storm inside them. That storm shakes their heart and mind, because they thought you would fall under their influence, that you would play their game, but you broke their expectations, and this is their greatest betrayal. Stoic philosophy tells us, true strength lies in unshakable calm. Regardless of your reaction, your inner world must remain stable. Your silence, your polite but unequivocal boundaries overturn their thoughts. Now they struggle with many questions inside themselves. Maybe I really lost them. Maybe they are no longer there for me. Maybe my existence never meant anything to them. Maybe the silence is actually the greatest punishment given to me. These questions cause a mental storm inside them. They hear the sound of your calmness, but they do not understand this silence. They think silence means passivity, but you know that silence is the greatest activity. Their unease about your calmness makes them reflect and change, because they expected you to lose control, react, and get upset. But you did not. On the contrary, you showed your worth, and that became the strongest message to them. This situation is a kind of art of expressing oneself through silence. The Stoics said that a person's strength lies in controlling their emotions. You have mastered this. Yes, calmness is the greatest power. This calmness causes the deepest turmoil in their heart. You have already lost them, but most importantly, now they have lost you. Through this calmness, you have given them the strongest lesson. There is no place for anyone who does not deserve my worth. If you have seen several of these 5 signs in your life, it means you are already at a very important stage. You are one step ahead. You have gone beyond merely existing. You have started to understand the meanings behind life, the subtleties of human relationships, and your own inner world more deeply. This is not weakness, but the greatest strength. Remember, this video was never created for them to feel regret. It is a stage of power, progress, and distinction for you. Those who hurt you, failed to appreciate your value, or played games with you may feel regret, but you have already changed, grown, and are moving forward. There is no reason to return to the same people or past events anymore. Your path is toward the future. You have found your inner peace. Learn to manage your emotions. And most importantly, you recognize your own worth. You live and grow by your own strength, without needing anyone's attention. The words of the Stoics hold special meaning here. A person's worth is seen in those they do not value. In other words, just as you don't put anyone beneath yourself, you are defined by those who do not value or deserve you. Their regret is the natural echo of your rise and progress. This path is filled not only with losses but also with lessons learned, moments of growth and spiritual wealth. You are now a sturdy ship calmly standing in your inner sea. The waves ahead do not scare you. Instead, they strengthen and shape you even more. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever felt that someone regretted losing you? How did that feeling affect your life? How did you get through those moments and what did you learn? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and maybe you're not the only one feeling this way. Let's think together, support each other, and draw strength from one another. Finally, I have a message for you. If this video feels familiar, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it with your friends. Your support makes it possible to create more helpful, thought-provoking and inspiring content. Let's grow together, develop and live our lives more meaningfully and deeply. Stoic Master is always by your side. With hopes to see you again, love and respect to everyone.